No questions? This is easy.
How do you like the heat and humidity of Kentucky?
Summers.
I don't mind it. I prefer the heat over the cold any day of the week. But yeah, I mean it's great for camp actually. I mean just getting guys in shape and all that stuff. But it was beautiful today. Nice practicing in the morning. So.
Rich, how do you see the battle for the backup quarterback position shaping up?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good competition. I think both guys are worthy of earning the job, and it'll take its time to work itself out. But they both had really good summers. They're both talented guys. I've seen huge strides, probably more than I even expected out of both of them, and it's the fun part of being able to interact with them in the off season, in the summertime nowadays, and help a guy develop. And I feel like they've made some good strides. It'll be a good fun competition.
Rich, Will Levis
was a popular man this offseason, ESPN, the Masters, Kentucky Derby.
How do you think he handled all that?
Living the dream.
How do you think he handled all that attention?
I think he handled it well. I would worry about some people when the spotlight gets put on you as quickly as it has with Will, but it's what part of what his greatness will be and is. He's very mature. He's very well thought out in his decision making, and he just has the makeup of what you expect the great ones to have. And I think that he's level-headed and he's got the right mindset, and he's all ball right now. And that's exciting for all of us.
Rich, are you fine line, say, in terms of smart decisions on his part and being principled?
Yeah, that's been a fun challenge since I've been here, and I've been fortunate enough to have to deal with this with other guys, and so it was easier to articulate things and get him to believe in some things, and he's taken it wholeheartedly, and he has approached this summer. He did it in the spring as well to understand the importance of the value of you to the community of Lexington, to this university, and to your teammates versus the 8 yards that you think you can make. And I think he understands that. It's part of his competitiveness, but showing the balance. It's also the same way he'll temper himself to lessen his turnovers as well. It all kind of runs hand to hand.
When you have a change on the offensive line, particularly left tackle, how does that influence your game planning? And are you as willing to throw the ball deep?
Yeah, I would say that's the beauty of playing in a pro system and my pro background. So much of what you do in the NFL is game planning pass rushers, your weaknesses on your O-line, and having the flexibility within your protection schemes, your play action schemes, and ways to mask the issues at times if they're there. And that goes for any position, anywhere. And quite honestly, my experience has been the tackles are not that difficult to protect. It's more the interior guys that can be a problem at times. If there's a Aaron Donald across from you or somebody in the SEC, I'm sure that will show up and make that tough. But that's the trick. But that's also the fun part of having a pro-style scheme when you can and have a quarterback that can be involved with it that can help with that stuff. And I feel confident. And I like the guys we have. I think our tackles are pretty good. I think they're going to surprise people.
How has it been coming alongside of you? Coach Jens are coming from the same system. How's that affected you guys? How easy has it made the transition?
It's been a big part of my decision to want to be here. I mean, it's to have the transition happen late, to jump into the situation. You need coaches that understand your system, that know how to think, and that can help with other coaches kind of articulate things as well. And you trust that. And he's a very good football coach, and our relationship has been strong for a couple of years now. And to have that has made it much easier, and I think it's made us a better, more efficient teaching staff for sure.
Rich, when you look at what Will did last year, how easily does that translate to what you want to do with your system and your offense?
I mean, I think it translates. He got he had a real good foundation, and more importantly, he got some great experience. I think, like any quarterback, the game slows down the more you play. And at some point last year, I think the Iowa last drive is something I'd really point to. Will made some great plays that under duress and pressure situations where I don't think early in the year he would have pulled them off. Whereas in Tennessee, he had opportunity kind of, and it was tougher. That comes from playing. And that's why guys succeed at the next level. The guys that bank a lot of starts are usually the better players. And I think that that's where will ascend. You see guys like Joe Burrow and historically guys that have gone through that are very talented, like guys like Will. And we're hoping for that same kind of ascension.
You and Will both mentioned in the spring that you guys kind of clicked right away watching film. How will that kind of continue through fall practice up until the season, just you guys continuing to build that?
Yeah, he's earned my respect, and I say this to quarterbacks or anyone, and quite honestly, when they ask me about that relationship, is you always hope that you start out coaching somebody, and then at some point that relationship with the quarterback goes from player-coach to you're collaborating. And with Will in his mind and where he's at, I think we've reached the point where we're no longer, I'm coaching him, but this is a collaboration. We're working together. And it's nice to have a guy that can empower like that and really enjoy coaching. And quite honestly, I've had a great deal of fun this summer being with these guys, and it's really made it a lot of fun to be here, and I look forward to seeing some great results, hopefully, out of it.
How many receivers do you like to use in a game?
It's a good question. I mean, it's going to vary week to week, but we're, Coach Merrow and Coach Stoops, to their credit, and the whole staff, we've done a really nice job recruiting. I've walked into a very good situation, and we have a lot of unique traded players. We have a very deep tight end room. We have a good group of freshman receivers with some older guys, and they're all a little bit different. So the amount and how you use guys will always differ based on what's best that week, and then having the flexibility with the guys we have. We have a bunch of hybrid guys that are half receiver, half tight end, and that makes it tough on a defense and allows us to be pretty flexible. Plus, they're all pretty smart guys, which allows us to help with the volume and do more things, and I feel like they can handle it.
Richard, they're going to go in with some degree of uncertainty about Chris. How do you feel about the rest of that running back group, and what do you want to see from those guys in the first camp?
Yeah, I mean, I like the group, but it's unproven, and that'll be one of the big things to come out of this camp, and we'll see who earns the right and the ability to touch it the most, and I imagine it'll be a little bit by committee, no matter what. But yeah, I'm excited about the entire group, and again, they're all a little different, which is what we like. We're gonna, you put people in situations to play to their strengths, and so we got route runners and pass catchers. We got some thumpers. We got guys with some speed. Some guys will run you over. So it's a good group.
It's probably too early in camp to ask this question, but have you found your George Kittle of this group yet?
I don't want to point anyone out yet, and I don't want to overhype anything, but I am very, very excited about that tight end room. I mean, it's hard to imagine having a better one. You don't have the luxury of carrying 6 tight ends in the NFL. And I really believe that there's 3 or 4 or 5 in that room that are going to play on Sunday. And they're all a little different. They're all good guys. They all work at their craft, and they're, some guys are pass catchers, some guys will set the edge, some guys can do both. But it's a really, really good group.
Gary,
what kind of extra things from your running backs do you expect to get out of them to kind of stretch things, give you more flexibility on offense?
Yeah, I'd say one of the the big things last year is probably the backs didn't catch a lot of balls. Were my background and the way we're doing things, and their versatility allows us to incorporate them probably more. So yeah, I mean, those are always ways to get safe catches and let guys that are good in space get yak and create for you. And I feel like we got a group that can do that, and that's one of the ways we'll do it in the medium to short passing game with those guys.
last one, Mark, did you have one?
Leon last year, I think, came into the year wanting to run a lot of outside zone, and I think the personnel sort of adjusted and ran more inside zone. Are you guys going to make that transition this year and grow commitment?
I would say that our background is probably different than the guys that were here last year. I mean, the Rams and what they do is built a certain way, and that's probably was their background and what Coach Wolf knew and all that. But what we do is, we're always going to play the strength of our players, and we're going to do what's right against any given scheme we're going to see, and we're going to have some versatility to our run scheme. But in the end, the starting point will always be wide zone, and to be effective in everything else we want to do, that's where we'll begin. So it will be a part of what we do.